Partridge shooting with pointing dogs is always an experience. Flushing a fox out of his den is a real test of skills. Hunting the eider on the North Sea can be a cold experience. Driven shoots are a classical form of hunting. In the wonderful spring and summertime, there's game to be seen everywhere. We will watch expert fox hunters and highly skilled goose hunters at work. And of course, we're also going to take part in a driven shoot. And we take to the seas in a quest for the elusive eider. In short, we're going hunting. Sit down and relax. It's time to sound Start the Hunt.
Hun har altså gået på jagt i, jeg ved ikke hvad, 60 år eller mere. Og vi skyder stadigvæk forbi en gang imellem. Det er ikke bare noget, man gør. Det er jo derfor, det er sjovt.
Gustav Ronholt is an experienced shooting instructor. His expert instruction gets the timing right before the opening of the season. September is a wonderful time of year. There's still a trace of summer in the air on this beautiful misty morning. We are guests at Paul Magnussen's hunting grounds on the island of Zealand in Denmark. The sun slowly burns the mist away. The warmth activates creatures large and small. Sven arrives at Paul's place by mid-morning. They have decided to check if the pigeons are active across the meadows. There's definitely nothing wrong with their expectations. Sven and Paul are carefully selecting the right spot to set up their hide and put out the decoys.
Det kan vi godt sidde ved siden af hinanden der. Jeg kan se I over, hvis stuerne de trækker her, ned fra bakken og ud over til sumpet og helt til træerne der.
The lush meadow attracts many species of birds.
Ved du hvad, skal vi ikke starte med at lægge vores lokker ud?
The hunters put out the decoys, while Juno patiently watches the proceedings. The hide is being constructed. The bright sunshine makes the hunter's face shine like a torch, so they both cover up their heads.
Men det her, det er også meget rart. Så er der ikke med myg og sådan noget. Ja, det er over i træer. Det er altså, man sejler rundt over i træer.
Ready for the first pigeon. But why does it fly away? Guilty or not, Juno gets camouflaged. That eliminates that problem.
Bingo!
A good start. Juno is very efficient, and as the marksmanship of the hunters improves, there's a lot for him to do. After a short while, Juno has become so muddy that he doesn't need his camouflage cover anymore.
Det var flot. Tak skal du have. Det er en fin en, hva'? Ja, det var flot.
Pigeon shooting is great fun and an excellent opportunity to practice the cooperation between hunter and dog.
Det var flot. Ja, det var godt, ja.
Nothing tastes better than newly shot pigeons fried in a pan on a camp cooker. Mushrooms and fresh onions complement the pigeon breast perfectly. What about Juno? He's getting a well-deserved rest.
Den er varm på, som en kunde sige. Det er meget reelt køer.
A little bit of cream won't do any harm to an active hunter. Sven and Paul enjoy the special comradeship that is such an important part of hunting life. At the hunting cottage, many problems are solved over a quiet beer.
Der var et lille hul i en af duerne. Der er nu altså et hav.
Ja, det kan godt
Ja, for han gnasker ikke i den.
Nå. Det er rigtig godt.
Ja.
A beautiful pond is the perfect center of any hunting ground. The ducks attract many other game species too. While the evening slowly settles, the ducks begin to become active. The pond complements the surrounding landscape perfectly, a perfect spot to sit and watch living nature all year round. Sven is the happy owner of this beautiful location. Over the years, he's enjoyed many exciting shoots, yet today, something is special. His daughter, Hella, has just acquired her hunting license. Tonight is her debut as an active hunter. Right away, some ducks take flight. But normally the ducks will soon start to return, so the hunters must quickly find their positions. The final instructions from her father and Hella is ready. A flock of teals fly by, but too far away to attempt a shot. The first real chance. A mallard drake is flying straight towards Hella's position. Alas, a miss. It would have made a perfect start. Hella is vexed. The 16-year-old shooter is normally a very good shot at the clay targets, so she's definitely capable. A Another couple of mallards appear and they choose a deadly route. Success! Hella's first piece of game is silently floating on the pond.
Nå, Helle. Ligger du ind nu? Nej. Den flyver på en, hva'?
Hella fired a perfectly timed side shot.
Skal vi dø i kanten, hva'? Hvad? Sådan. Skal vi... Nu er vi på den.
The dog is sent out to retrieve Hella's duck. No, Hella, the dog seems to think. It's normally Daddy that gets the birds. All hunters remember their first trophy. For Sven, it's a special treat to be there to celebrate his daughter's first. Hella admires her first trophy. The tail feathers of the mallard now adorn her hat. It's time for the driven shoots. Paul has invited Sven and he's engaged elsewhere. Instead, Hella gets the chance. The dogs know what is going to happen.
Velkommen til dagens jagt på Katrineholm.
Hella is all ears. Paul is the only one who she knows.
Hele dagen lovlige patroner. Og det vil sige, de såter, vi har i skoven, der må ikke bruge stålhav. På markerne er der frit valg af lovlige patroner.
The hunters prepare for the shoot. Safety is an all-important aspect.
Til sikkerhed, så har vi sådan, at der er nogen, der har lyst til at bruge det, så er der røde bånd, sikkerhedsbriller, og der er nogen, der vil have høreværn, så skal vi få muligheder bagefter herinde, hvor vi er.
Each hunter is offered a red hatband to wear for safety. It makes them stand out clearly.
Her cirka. Så du kan godt gå det ind og stå der, så får du lidt bedre for det deroppe. Og du husker, du har afsluttet og så lidt bag det. Så du stiger kun højre side.
The captain of the shoot repeats the very important safety instructions.
Nu vil jeg håbe, du får lov at prøve på den. Du skal stå her, og drevet kommer den vej, og du må skyde så snart der bliver blikket. Der kommer du.
Another debut for Hella, her first driven shoot. A lot of birds are flushed, but without presenting a chance for Hella. The dogs are doing a good job. The first drive is over. Time to retrieve the shot birds. Hella hasn't fired a single shot.
Kvalitetssans.
The shooters are having a good time, teasing each other between the drives. All the shot birds have been retrieved. It's time for the next drive. The forest has been painted in bright colors by the first frost of the fall. The expectations are high for the next drive, both among shooters and dogs. There's usually plenty of pheasants and ducks in this drive. Hella finally gets a chance for a shot. She reloads right away, but the drive is over soon after. Good shooting has resulted in a lot of birds, and spirits are high. The shoot is over. The shot birds are collected and placed on the game wagon. It's time to go back to the hunting cabin. After a wash, the dogs are fed, and then it's time to relax. The shooters also clean up. It's time for the traditional display of the shot birds.
Ja, så er vi samlet igen. Og dagens jagt er slut. Og vi har haft en god dag, godt vejr, god skydning. Det ses på jorden der. Så det får I tak for en god dag. Tak for sikker skydning.
Isn't it strange? In the summertime, there is always plenty of hares around. But when the open season approached, they seem to vanish from the surface of the earth. Generally, the number of hares has declined. Only a few years ago, more than 100,000 were shot every year. Now the number is down to just over 100,000. Although huge areas of Danish moorland was plowed around the beginning of the last century, one can still find pockets of this unique habitat in a completely unspoiled state. This year, the heather has been blooming prettier than ever, and Jesper has enjoyed many good walks accompanied by his dog. The summer is coming to an end. We are at Dybjerg Heath in western Denmark, one of the largest remaining moorland expanses in this country. This is partridge country. The partridge population has benefited from the dry summer, and now it's time to harvest the surplus. A recent shower, though, makes it difficult for the dogs. You can't be successful every time. After scattering the covey, the hunters concentrate on single birds. In the company of experienced dog handlers, Jesper is enjoying a fine day on the moors. A pointer is able to cover a lot of ground in no time, but it's efficient work. The dog picks up the scent of a partridge and quickly locks in a pointing position. Jesper's second shot sends the partridge to the ground, and the dog retrieves the bird very nicely. The pointer continues to search for birds. Good shooting. Another bird is bagged. German shorthairs are also popular for this kind of terrain. But in this case, the bird had already flown. This is as good as it gets. One dog is pointing while another one assists. This is a sight that every dog handler likes to see. Lona celebrates the successful outcome. This is one of those days where everything seems to work out as planned. Hunter will follow hunter for generations to come on this, the last remaining uncultivated Danish moorland, still open for shooting.